All right, we're here. It's the Safe Credit Union Performing Center.
Very pretty.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Yeah, big, huge theater. I'm excited to see the inside of
Yeah.
it. We aren't in the front row. We're in the orchestra, but we're a little bit further back. And my mother and her friend are meeting us here. So that's going to be really fun. Excited.
Okay, Broadway Broad Squad. This is my mom and her friend Kathy, and they used to see this movie how many times, ladies?
7 times.
They were the original repeat attenders. Original OG repeat attenders.
Hey, hey, it's your broads. We're calling our squad who loves Broadway, the Broadway Broad Squad. We hella love musicals and we review them all day. It's Jen and Sarah, your fairy god broads. Hey.
Places.
Hi, I'm Jen.
And I'm Sarah.
And
we're the Broadway Broads.
If you're new here, welcome to
The Broadway Broad Squad.
No, really, welcome. We're so excited. We have so many new subscribers.
Yes.
So welcome. We're so happy that you've landed with us.
We're back in the booth, right? Hey.
Back where we belong.
Hey, you know,
I mean,
that's
it's
exactly
kinda,
where we
kinda
belong.
Fitting. Yeah, exactly, exactly.
So this review is for a new show, An Officer and a Gentleman. So this also is a brand new theater for your broads.
Yep.
Part of Broadway on Tour of Sacramento.
Yeah. So we saw this because we're going to give you all of our seat information. So here you go. We saw it on a Saturday, a 2 p.m. show. We sat in the center orchestra, row AA, seats 118 through 121. And let me tell you, they were great seats. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute.
So a very quick synopsis of the show. An Officer and a Gentleman is a stage musical based on the 1982 film of the same name written by Douglas Day Stewart. It tells the story of Zach Mayo, a United States aviation officer candidate who is beginning his training at Aviation Officer Candidate School. While Zach meets his first true girlfriend during his training, a young townie named Paula, he also comes into conflict with the hard-driving Marine Corps gunnery sergeant Emil Foley, training his class. Okay, so you know times are different these days, so we always want to touch on what it's like getting into the theater kind of post-COVID times, right? And in this case, they did a very good job of checking our vaccination cards versus our ID cards, right?
Yep, had to be fully vaccinated to go. Made sure everybody had that out ahead of time so that when you go in, you knew about it. So, yeah.
This also was a very special trip because Jen, so you saw these tickets on sale, right? Like you were the one that
Yes.
found this show.
I found this show. I follow Sacramento, obviously, because we go out there to see it a lot. But a friend of ours, another subscriber, and also Peep, a friend of mine, she has tickets there, so she helped me get a pre-schedule. So knew about it. This is my mom and her friend Kathy's favorite show. I remember growing up, my mom and her would go see it. They were like OG repeat attenders of seeing the show.
How many times did they see it?
I think they said 7 or 8 times
Yeah.
in the theater that they went to go and see it.
my
So
God.
yeah, so as soon as I saw the tickets, I knew that we had to take them to go see it. So
Yeah, that was pretty awesome. So nice to meet, to see Sharon and of course to meet Kathy.
yeah.
So we entered the theater. Of course, they did their checks, and the lobby is huge.
They did a massive renovation. It is absolutely stunning. They have this beautiful gold tree up on the ceiling. It had like instruments hanging off of the branches. It was absolutely beautiful. Lots of space, lots of bars. You know
They
about
did
the
have
bar.
the bar. Yeah,
They did have a bar.
You cannot take any drinks into the theater, so challenge accepted. I bought a little bottle of prosecco and I finished my drink.
I think I have a photo of you right here.
Yeah.
We'll throw that in.
There also was merch for the show.
Yep, so your girl did get a pin. It's actually right there, but I'll throw a photo in it for you. But I did get that, and I do have a little bit of footage here of the merch stand.
There's hoodies and t-shirts.
Cute, really cute. They
so,
had masks as well, so really cute. Yeah.
Then, of course, we headed to our seats. And I guess, you know, we both have to agree These seats were very comfortable.
They were really comfortable and lots of leg room. Your broads are tall. We had lots of leg rooms, lots of...
Our hips are usually very much best friends in the New York City theaters.
Yes,
and
not the case
they were
here
not the
at
case.
all.
Yeah, that was not the case
Not
here.
the case at all. My mom, all of us had plenty of room. People, you didn't have to get out of your seat to let people pass you by. That was really nice.
So very comfortable.
Yeah, very, very comfortable.
Okay, so before we dive in, so right before the show started, Jen was flipping through the program, as she does, to sort of mark her song before having to head to the bathroom, as we do.
As we do.
And she was quickly alarmed that this was actually a jukebox musical. So there was no original music. And this actually happened as the lights were coming down.
Like literally the lights were coming down, and I said, Sarah, oh my God, there's like this is like a jukebox.
No, it was kind of like out of a I wish we could have recorded it because the lights came down and we were both like, damn. So here's the truth. Like, did we hope for original music? Yes. We figured we were going to get like original music and Up Where We Belong. That was not the case.
Yeah.
So, okay. So let's just dive in a little bit about the show. Technically, the set was wonderful. Lots of visual effects.
Yeah.
There was moving pieces. There was one effect that kind of went a little overboard. We need to talk about the beach.
Yeah. Well, I mean, overboard, yes. Excessive, yes. But I also actually, like the waves themselves, I didn't mind.
Agreed.
It was all the additional
And then
stuff
all of a
that they
sudden
did
it was
on
like
top
this
of it.
whole like...
Yeah.
Northern Lights thing was happening with the effects, and I was like, it was just a little over the top.
Once I found out when I went back to watch the movie and saw that it did take place in Seattle, the rain made much more sense, but it still kind of lost me. Like they could have just left the beach, let it roll out because it did.
I spent a lot of time watching the effects instead of the scene, and that's usually an issue for me.
Right, and it wasn't here.
Yeah,
but more on that. So let's talk about the costumes.
Yes.
Costumes, really good. The wigs, again, we were pretty far back. So this theater, it's A, B, C, D, all the way up to end of the alphabet. Then it starts again, A, A, B, B. So we're pretty far back, but the wigs look good.
Everything looked good.
Costumes look good. They look legit, 80s, so I bought it.
Yeah. And, the show really follows the movie very, very well. It gives us all those special little nostalgic moments. Jen, let's talk a little bit about your mom and Kathy.
Yeah, I did. I remember looking over in peripheral and seeing my mom and Kathy having like their little moments of seeing like Sergeant, Sigurd and, and just different little moments, like scenes where I'm like, oh, that's going to be Sarah and I,
Oh God, like, we're going to be watching Disney Plus
Hamilton
on Disney Plus like 30 years from now. Like, girl, do you remember
when we saw
the eighth time we saw it or whatever? That's going to be us.
Yeah, so it was so special to see the two of them really enjoying it and embracing the show. So that made me.
There are some very significant changes from the movie to the show that we want to touch on. Jen, you want to...
So first thing, it was actually my mom that noticed this, that it was no longer a bag factory, but instead it was a casket factory, which also was interesting, but my mom caught on to that, so I thought that was an interesting choice.
They brought in a more diverse cast, amen, right? Sid Worley, the son of the Admiral, best friend to Zach, is Black, and they absolutely bring in the discussion of race and the dynamic in that relationship. And sadly, we're still talking about the issues that were happening in 1982, sadly still happening today. And also from his father being the first Black admiral ever, to Sid dating a local girl who is deemed sort of lower class or trash, and she is white.
There's also Seeger, who was played by a Black woman. That was another welcome change, and she was actually, well, we'll talk about her as standouts, but just actually excellent. I loved that whole dynamic. I thought that was great. So
just really thrilled to see the story updated in that way. No one really wants or needs to see stories told from a white only narrative. I know I don't. I know you feel the same way. So hats off to the co-author for making those changes. Okay, so now let's talk a little bit about the jukebox nature of the show. So maybe it's our age, but the songs just were really hard not to laugh through.
Yeah, like they chose, like some of the choices, like those songs have so much depth already and so much history to them that it didn't seem.
I mean, some landed very well.
Some did.
Like Higher Love, sung by Seeger.
Yeah.
And then Lost in Your Eyes.
Which was odd to hear it, but it was still, I let that one slid.
But some did not land. Like,
no.
Hold On for One More Day.
Do they?
You specifically were like, we only need one verse.
No, we
like,
only
and I
needed one.
was like,
It
agreed.
just didn't fit. And then all we're thinking about is
Bridesmaids, you know, and like, yeah, it's sort of become that. It's become like a, you know, a piece of that movie now, you know, and so, and I owned that Wilson Phillips cassette tape.
Girl same.
Okay,
Girl
so,
same.
okay. So we really we got what we wanted with Up Where We Belong, because we were like, if we don't get that, I really don't know how to feel.
Right.
You know, and but you know,
but did we need Venus? Did we need it? Did we need it? Even my mom leaned over. My mom leaned over and said, "I thought they could have done Physical," and I was like, "Right, Mom? Right? Like,
yeah,
why
the
would
music really kind of left more of a comic relief.
Instead of, and so that didn't. It didn't work.
Yeah, it didn't really, instead of helping progress like the story, and it kind of almost took away from it, you know? I mean, could they have written original music? I don't know. I you know, but this one's a hard sell for your broads, you know, because of the music. The movie took place in 1982, and the songs were from all over the place, right? Yeah. So
I don't know.
But anyway, let's talk a little bit about the standout performances of the show. Okay.
So first up, Seeger.
Yes, Amaya White played Seeger. That was one of your favorite moments of her. Her moment was one of your favorite moments of the show.
During the beginning of the first act of it, she's trying to climb the wall, and you get to see her backstory about why she couldn't climb the wall. So if you don't know,
with her father, the whole back.
They pull her off the wall, and the way that they did it, choreography wise, I thought it was really cool the way they did it. They pulled her off the wall. She had her scene with her dad, and then they put her back on the wall in the same spot, and I love that. That was really powerful.
Yeah,
love that.
And David Wayne Brighton played Marine Gunnery Sergeant Foley to AT. So he was one of my favorites as well.
Absolutely.
So favorite song of the show, Jen?
Believe it or not, I actually enjoyed one song that would not normally hit, but it was Right Here Waiting for You by Richard Marx.
Yeah, and I think it was sung by the mom, right, of the girlfriend, and and she did a very good job. So I totally understand.
Yeah,
mine was Up Where We Belong, because that was the song I wanted the whole time, and they gave it to me.
Yeah, you did get it.
So yeah, okay. So repeat attend or not?
No.
Yeah, this one's a no for me too. Listen, though, it was a fun time. I mean, being able to go with you and your mom and her friend was an honor, and the show's on tour and people should see it, right?
Absolutely. That's what I was going to say. I feel like, if you, it's going to be a fun night out, go with your mom, go with your aunt, go with someone's going to be nostalgic about the music or the show itself, and it's a good time. It's a good night out. A good night out.
Yeah. A night at the theater is always a night well spent. Yeah.
Exactly.
All right.
Well,
thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much. We'll see you on the other side.
Curtain.
So here we are at Officer and Gentleman. What did you think?
I liked it.
You liked it?
Actually.
Yeah.
It was fun to reminisce.
Yeah. Kathy?
Same thing.
Same
Loved
thing.
it.
Yeah. They did all the big bits, right?
Yeah.
They gave you those moments.
They got it all.
We just kept waiting for a cigar.
Yeah. And we got it. All right. Well, thanks for joining us,
Thank
ladies.
you.
All right.
Thank
Bye-bye.
Oh, that was a fun video.
What'd you think?
I loved it.
I had a great time. What did you guys think?
Yeah, did you guys love it? Did you love it? Huh? Well, if you did, guess what you should do?
You should definitely like it.
And you should subscribe and hit that bell notification so that you know every time that your broads drop content.
Yay!
We'll see you on the other side. Bye!
Bye!
Your fairy god bras, hey!